Good day, students. We are now on problem solving involving rational equation. Our objectives for today is you will be able to solve real life problems involving rational equation. And of course, you will carefully analyze and understand word problems before solving them. So we have rules or steps for solving problems. So maraming mga steps na pinapakita noon sa inyo siguro sa during your junior high school, but we will have also our steps for solving word problems. First one, of course, you have to read the problem. If hindi pa talaga maintindihan isang beses, then you have to reread the problem. And next would be, you have to identify and list the facts. Ano yung mga given na nandun na importante, then you have to list it down. All right, so next, you have to figure out exactly what the problem is asking for. So ano ba yung tanong sa problem na ibinigay sa inyo? And of course, you have to eliminate excess information. So yung mga information na hindi naman kailangan, therefore you have to eliminate those. Pay attention to units of measurements. Of course, since we are talking about problem solving in mathematics, of course, there are measure a unit of measurements. For example, kilometers, centimeters, kilograms, and etc. So there are units of measurements. Okay, so with that, we will have to draw and diagram if possible naman kung kailangan talaga, like for instance may mga kailangan na diagram, then you have to do so. If not, pwede na rin wala. Kagaya sa ginagawa ko dito, I have tables, so to help me show the answer or the solution. Okay, so you can do so if you want. If not, pwede lang din na wala. Okay, so you have to find or develop a formula. Sometimes you can use formulas na kagaya ng motion or problems na you're talking about the distance. Or if it's work problem naman, you can use the work formula or anything na pwede nyong magamit given the problem na binigay ng teacher ninyo. And if possible, pag wala naman, then you can formulate your own formula based on the problem na binigay. Okay? Just like the number problems, you're going to develop a formula, or shall we say, you are going to formulate a formula. Then last one, you have to do the math and check your answer. Solve it and then check the answer afterwards. And if during the checking you arrive with equal from left and right side, of course, you get the correct answer. Okay, so we will start with problem number 1. So the problem number 1, your task is to find two consecutive integers such that the sum of 1/3 of the first and 1/4 of the second is 9. So we will chop. Remember and recall that when we say consecutive, we have here consecutive, that means magkasunod. Integers would be the positive or negative integers. That includes the positive or the negative numbers. So consecutive means magkasunod. For example, if we have the first integer 2, ang sunod niyan ay 3. If we have integer of 4, ang sunod niyan ay 5. So magkasunod, like 23 or 24. So, consecutive integers. Now, when we say sum, okay, yung mga naka-underline yung importante ha. So, una yung consecutive integers. Yun yung hinahanap to find the two consecutive integers. The sum means the result of addition. So, you're going to add the two integers. Sum of 1/3 of the first and 1/4 of the second is 9. So first and foremost, you have to let what would be your first integer and your second integer. Since dito, kung titignan natin, 1/3 of the first, see? Una, and then 1/4 of the second is yung pangalawa. So, kapag i-let natin si x is equal to the first integer, okay? Okay, dito na lang sa kabila. We are going to let the x as the first integer. In order for us to find the second one, you are going to add 1. Therefore, the second integer now is x plus 1. For example, kapag daw yung x natin ay 5, ang susunod niyan ay 6 because consecutive, magkasunod na integer. So, para makuha natin si 6, dadagdagan natin yung first integer ng 1. That's why yung second integer natin ay x plus 1. So, ito yung let mo. You let x be the first integer and then x plus 1 be the second integer. Okay, yun yung clue since first integer and second integer magkasunod talaga. Consecutive, yun yung clue. Alright, so ngayon, you're going to add. Ang sabi niya, sum. That means the total of addition. 1/3 of the first. Pag sinabi natin of, that means multiplication. So, we have there yung x, yung first, of the first. So, 1/3 times x. Kasi, 1/3 of the first man daw. Ito yung first. Therefore, ito yung imo-multiply natin sa 1/3. And 1/4. So, add man kasi sum, therefore plus 1/4 of the second. So, multiply nyo naman si 1/4 of the second. Ano yung second natin na integer? X plus 1. So, we have multiply x plus 1 as our second integer. Of course, when we say is, that would become equal. Equal po ang ibig sabihin ng is. 9. Therefore, is equal to 9. Okay? So, we already have the formula. We already conclude and develop rather, a formula. Therefore, we can continue solving. So, ito yung kanina na nalet natin. So, ito yung equation na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. So, when we say multiply, that means imo-multiply natin ito dito. So, 1/3 times x would become x over 3 plus 1 times x plus 1, that is x plus 1 over 4. Is equal to 9. Now, we have already the equation here, and it's a rational equation. Therefore, you are going to go back with the steps on how to solve rational equation. First step is to find or look for the LCD so that we can multiply both sides of the equation with the LCD to eliminate the rational expression. So, if we're going to get the LCD of 3 and 4, we're going to look for the prime factor of 3, 3 lang. For 4 naman, we have prime factors of 4, 2, and 2. When you are going to multiply 3 times 2, 6 times 2, 12. So, the common denominator of this is 12. Therefore, the LCD now is 12. Okay, so you have to multiply both sides with the LCD 12. So we have multiply both sides with 12. 12 divide 3, 4. 4 times x, 4x. Plus 12 divide 4, 3. 3 times x plus 1. Okay? Then 12 times 9, that is 108. All right? Let's continue. Since may parenthesis pa dito, uunahin natin ito na operation. So, bring down 4x plus 2 times 3, 3 times x rather, 3x plus 3 times 1, 3 is equal to 108. Then, of course, we have to keep the terms with variable in the left and we have to transfer to the right yung mga constant na terms. So, we have here, isa lang ang constant, we have to transfer it sa right side of the equation. So, we can add 4x plus 3x, that would give us 7x is equal to 108. Yung positive 3x, when we're going to transfer it to the right side, that would give us negative 3. Then we can still combine this. So we will continue here. 7x is equal to 108 minus 3. That would give us 105. Then, still, kasi hindi pa natin nakuha yung x value, therefore, may katabi pa na 7 si x, we will divide both sides with 7. So, we have canceled si 7. Ang naiwan na lang ay x. Therefore, 105 divided by 7, that would give us 15. Ngayon, ang sabi natin kanina na si first integer daw ay x only. Therefore, yung first integer natin ay equal to 15 kasi yun yung value ng ating x. Ang pangalawang integer naman kasi ang hinahanap yung dalawang integer. So, yung 15 na x, dagdag ng isa, ng 1, kasi ito yung second integer natin, is equal to 16. Therefore, the two integers are 15 and the two consecutive integers are 15 and 16. Positive 15 and 16. Okay? Ma'am, paano natin malaman kung tama yung sagot natin? Of course, we can have our checking. Saan po ba natin isa-substitute yung ating value para malaman natin na tama ang sagot? Okay? Let's go back here sa ating given. So, erase ko muna ito so that we can use the given to solve the checking. Okay? We will have the final answer kanina, x is equal to 15. So, pwede na natin directly isusulat dito that 1/3 times x is 15 plus yung 1/4, we have x plus 1. So, 15 plus 1, that means 16. Right? So, automatically, lagay natin dito yung 16 kasi 15 plus 1. Okay? Is equal to 9. 15 times 1, 15 divided by 3, that would give us 5. Is equal to 16 times 1, that would give us 16 divided by 4, that would give us 4 is equal to 9. 5 plus 4, that is 9, is equal to 9. Therefore, we equated the left and the right of the equation. Therefore, we get the correct answer as the two consecutive integers are 15 and 16. All right, so the final answer is the two consecutive integers are 15 and 16. Okay, you can write it down through statement or you can write it down there. First integer 15, then second integer is 16. Okay, you can have your final answer as this. Okay, so I hope na it's clear with you. What about this problem number 2? The problem is still a number problem. the denominator of a fraction is 2 more than the numerator. If 1 is subtracted from both numerator and denominator, the resulting fraction has a value of 1/2. Find the original fraction. Fraction po. Fraction composed of what? We have numerator and denominator. Therefore, we have to let what is our numerator and what is our denominator. Since may sinabi siya dito about kay denominator, the denominator of a fraction is 2 more than the numerator. So kapag sinabi natin 2 more than, that means plus 2 si denominator kaysa kay numerator. So we can say that si numerator is yung x natin at saka si denominator x plus 2. Since 2 more than the numerator is the denominator. Okay, so we have here, let x be the numerator and x plus 2 is equal to, is yung ating denominator. Pero sinabi niya dito na if 1 is subtracted from both numerator and denominator, so yung 1 daw isa-subtract natin doon sa kay numerator at saka kay denominator, the resulting fraction has a value, so equal daw kay 1/2. So ang gagawin natin ay, okay, so we have yung x as numerator, yung x plus 2 as denominator, subtracted with 1, both numerator and denominator. Kaya siya may minus 1, minus 1. So, minus 1 sa numerator, minus 1 sa denominator. That means you subtracted 1 from both the numerator and the denominator. When we say the resulting fraction is or has a value of 1/2, that means equal to 1/2. Okay? Resulting value means equal. Then, has a value of 1/2. So, 1/2 yung sagot daw. Ngayon, ang hinahanap lang natin yung original fraction. So, remember that the original fraction is ito lang si x over x plus 2. Okay? So, but before we can get the original fraction, we are going to perform the rational equation first. So, since we can still combine 2 and 1 here sa denominator, kasi constant sila, we are going to start with that. So, x minus 1 over x 2 minus 1, positive 2 minus 1, that means x plus 1 na lang. 1 yung naiwan is equal to 1/2. Alright? Ngayon, we can cross-multiply this because from the left side, we have the single rational expression. And then from the right side, left and right, both single rational expression. Therefore, we can cross-multiply. So, cross-multiply lang yung process na ginamit ko. Okay, so that would become 2 times x minus 1 is equal to 1 times x plus 1, still x plus 1. All right, then we are going to distribute 2 times x, 2x. Then 2 times negative 1, negative 2 is equal to x plus 1. Remember that we are going to transfer every terms with variable sa left side natin of the equation. Therefore, 2x, lipat si positive x maging negative x is equal to 1. Lipat natin sa negative 2, that would become plus 2. Okay, then continue. We have to combine 2x minus x, positive x only. Then 1 plus 2, that is 3. Now, we have already the value of x. Therefore, we can now have the original fraction. Again, you have to go back with what you write previous there in your solution that the original fraction is x over x plus 2, and you solve there that x is equal to 3. Therefore, you're going to substitute it here. So x is equal to 3, and then yung x daw papalitan ng 3. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 3 over 5. So the original fraction now is 3 over 5. So the final answer, okay, you're going to conclude that the original fraction is 3 over 5. Okay, I hope that is clear to everyone who's watching this. Okay, let's have a problem that talks about distance. Okay, so it's about distance or motion problem. So the problem is an express train travels 150 kilometers in the same time that a freight train travels 100 kilometers. If the express train goes 20 km/h faster than the freight train, find the rate of each train. So dalawang train ang nandito. The express train and the freight train. But before you're going to continue, we're talking about the distance. So when we're going to solve for the distance, distance is equal to rate times time. Okay? When we say rate, for example, 50 km/h. Just like that. That is just an example. The question is, we have to find the rate of each train. Pero ang sinabi niya dito, if the express train goes 20 km/h faster than the freight train, so kukunin na natin yung rate ng bawat isa na train. So una, may facts or may given na tayo dito na yung distance ng express train is 150 km. Tapos, yung freight train naman is 100 kilometers. Pag sinabi nating same time, so equal pala yung time nila. Okay, so what are we going to do that? We will create a table for that. But before we're going to create a table, we have to let that R is the rate of the freight train. Okay, balik tayo kung titingnan natin. Si freight train kasi wala siyang restriction. Pero si express train, sabi niya, mas mabilis daw siya ng 20 km/h kaysa kay freight train. So, ang mangyayari ay, we are going to let R be the rate of the freight train. Okay, so yun siya, si R. Pero mas mabilis daw si express train ng 20 km/h. So, yung rate mo, dagdagan mo ng plus 20 kay express train. Kasi mas mabilis siya kaysa kay freight train. Pero alamin natin ang rate nila, kung ano ba ang rate nila. Okay, si rate for freight train, or ito si R, and then R plus 20 naman for the rate of the express train. Okay, so we will have the table. Meaning that distance is equal to rate times time. Now, since the distance is already given, for the freight train, kanina sinabi na si freight train, ayan o, freight train travels 100 kilometers. Freight train yan siya. Therefore, ito, 100 kilometers. For the express train, we have 150 kilometers. Okay, yun yung distance niya. Therefore, meron tayong distance dito. And, of course, nandoon na kanina, na-let na natin na for the rates, ito yung R kay freight train. Unknown kasi si rate, that's why we let the unknown, R. Okay? But, si express train, mas mabilis ng 20 minutes kaysa kay freight train. So, may additional tayo plus 20 for the rate. Okay. Remember that when we're going to find the time, so pag kukunin natin yung time, yung given, yung formula ng distance ay magiging, kapag si time na, ang mangyayari ay we will going to divide both sides with the rate. Since we're looking for the time, dito na column. So we have there, canceled. Yung naiwan na lang ay D over R for that time. That's why yung time nyo for this one here, yung D daw is 100. Okay, ito yung 100, the distance. Then, over R. Ito siya. That is for the time. And dito naman sa express train, sa pangalawa, yung distance daw ay 150. So, ito. And the rate now is R plus 20. So, ito yung formula na ginamit mo. Meaning, ano bang gagawin mo sa dalawang formula? Sabi daw na ang time ay same time. When we say same time, class, that means equal. So we can equate this one here. So 1 over R is equal to 150 over R plus 20. So, yung equation nyo ngayon ay ganito na. We equate kasi same yung time. So 100 over R is equal to 150 over R plus 20. Okay? Now, we can still cross multiply this kasi single expression dito, single din expression dito. So, we will cross multiply. So, 100 times R plus 20 is equal to 150 R. Okay, so we have to distribute 100 times R, 100 R. 100 times positive 20, that will give us 2,000. Is equal to 150 R. Lipat natin si 150 dito sa kabila and yung constant naman dito sa right. So 100 R minus 150 R is equal to negative 2,000. 100R minus 150R, that would give us negative 50R, is equal to negative 2,000. Divide both sides with negative 50 so that we can get the rate. We have negative 50. Your R now is equal to negative 2,000 divided by 50. That would give you 40. Since this is the rate, therefore, 40 kilometers per hour siya. Yung rate, yung R. So ngayon, balikan natin yung rate doon sa problem since we are looking for the rate of both freight train and express train. So we can use this one here in table or yung kanina dito. We're looking for the rate. Therefore, substitute natin for R. R is equal to 40 kilometers per hour. That would represent the rate of the freight train. And for the rate naman for the express train, we are going to substitute R with 40 plus 20 is equal to 60 kilometers per hour for the express train na rate. Okay? So, ito na yung dalawa mong sagot. For the freight train, you have the rate of 40 kilometers per hour. And for the express train, you have the 60 kilometers per hour. Alright? So, I hope na naintindihan niyo kung paano kinuha yung ating motion problem using the distance formula. Okay? So, we will have another. Now, let's proceed to problem number 4. A large pipe can empty a pool in 6 hours, and a small pipe can empty the same pool in 9 hours. So if we're going to highlight the given, or take note of the, so we will let first unknowns. Ano ba yung hinahanap? Of course, since we are looking for the time together, how long, so we are looking for the time. So we will let T the number of hours for both pipe to empty the pool. Remember that when we're talking about work problem, the formula for work problem is equal to work rate times time. Okay, so this is the work completed. So yung task na dapat i-complete, and this is the work rate. Work rate means gaano ba kabilis. Then this is the time. Okay, so we have here, we will create a table. So we have here the work rate, the time, the work completed. So this stands for the W, the R, and the T. So W is equal to rate times time. That means work completed is equal to work rate over times time. Okay, how are we going to get the work rate? Okay, so let's go back. Okay, may mga given tayo dito. Si large pipe, okay, take note of the large pipe can empty the pool in 6 hours. Si small pipe can empty the pool in 9 hours. Okay, take note of this. Large pipe, 6 hours. Small pipe, 9 hours. Okay, nandito na tayo sa table. How are we going to get the work rate? Remember, the work completed is already 1 kasi isang pool lang ang kailangan natin i-empty. Therefore, to get the work rate, we're going to substitute the W 1 because the goal is to empty the pool. Isang pool lang, therefore that is 1 is equal to, so yung W, pinalitan natin ng 1 kasi 1 pool. Work rate ang hinahanap natin, therefore we are going to remain the R here. And we have the time yung si large pipe, we have 6 hours. Therefore, we will substitute the T with 6. Okay? Or shall we write it as 6R? Okay? So, si R, yun yung hinahanap natin. To get the R, we have to divide both sides with 6. Cancel, cancel. Therefore, the rate now of the large pipe is 1/6. Okay? 1/6. Okay, erase. What about if we're looking for the rate of the small pipe? Remember, 9 hours daw niya ma-empty yung isang pool. Therefore, we need to get the rate. So, same manner, we're going to substitute W with 1 kasi 1 pool is equal to, yung time natin is 9 hours. Yung rate yung hinahanap. So, rate. Divide both sides with 9 so that we can get the rate. Therefore, we have yung R natin is equal to 1/9. Ito na lang yung naiwan. Therefore, that is just how to get the work rate. And, of course, to get the time, we're looking for the time. So, ano yun lahat? T and T lang siya. And then, work completed, we have 1. Kailangan natin i-complete 1. The task is we need to add the result of the work rate and time for us to look for, to get the time together. So when we say how long that the both pipes can empty the pool, that means we need to add. But remember, we're looking for the time. Since we're looking for the time to get the work completed, remember that we need to multiply rate and time. Okay? We need to multiply rate and time. Therefore, we have rate times t, that would give us 1/6 times t. 1 over 9 times t, that would give us 1 over 9 times t. Is, of course, you need to add kasi we're looking for the time together. So, kailangan natin i-add ang dalawa. So, our equation now would be like this. Yung sa large pipe and the small pipe. And, of course, one full that we need to empty. Therefore, in order for us to solve the equation, we will first multiply this here and this one here. So let's start with t times 1, that is t over 6, plus t times 1, t over 9 is equal to 1. In order for us to solve for rational equation, we have to look for the LCD so that we can multiply it both sides to eliminate the rational expression. So if we're going to look for the LCD of 6 and 9, we have the prime factors of 6 are 2 and 3. And the prime factor of 9 is 3 and 3. So the prime factors of 9 are 3 and 3. Okay, now we have to bring down 2. The common is 3, then bring down 3. So 2 times 3, 6 times 3, 18. Therefore, the LCD now is 18. So we will now multiply both sides with 18. Therefore, we have to multiply 18 times t over 6. That would give us 30t because 18 divided 6 is 3 times t, plus 18 divided 9, 2 times t, 2t is equal to 18 times 1, 18. Okay, we have 18. Combined together, we have 2t plus 3t plus 2t, 5t is equal to 18. Now, we still have a coefficient of t, so divide both sides with 5. Our value of t is 18 over 5. So, when we are going to divide 18 over 5, the answer would be t now is equal to 3.6. Shall we say 3.60 in decimal? But we need to convert this time to hours since we're looking for the time. So 3 is already 3 hours. And 0.60 times 60 minutes, that would give us 36. So, and 36 minutes. So, when you're going, when the two pipes work together to empty the pool, it would take them 3 hours and 3 hours and 30 minutes to empty the pool. Okay, I hope that you understand how are you going to get the work, how are you going to solve for the work problem using the work formula. W is equal to rate times time. W is the work complete that you need to complete, and then R is the work rate, gaano kabilis, and then the time. Okay, so you have it there, the final answer. So let's have to continue. Problem number 5. An estimate of a population of a bacterial colony is given by the equation P of x is equal to 12x plus 5 over x squared plus 1, measured in thousands where X is the time in hours after a toxin is introduced. Determine an estimate of a bacterial population after 10 hours. To do this, you will just have to substitute 10 hours here sa X values ninyo because X is the time in hours. So, you are just going to substitute here sa P of X ninyo is equal to 12X plus 5 over X squared plus 2. That would mean that P of 10 is equal to 12 times 10 plus 5 over 10 squared plus 1. P of 10 is equal to 12 times 10, that is 120 plus 5, is equal to 10 squared, 100 plus 1. 100 plus 1. P of 10 now is equal to 125 over 101. Since we're looking for the estimate of bacterial colony, so we will have the decimal answer. So we have to divide 125 divided by 101. That would give us P of 10 is an estimate approximately 1.24 bacterial colony. Bacterial colony population, pwede. Do not forget the unit of measurements. So kung ano yung tinanong, yun din yung kailangan yung i-indicate sa final answer ninyo. I hope that would be clear with you so that you can be able to answer the quiz number 10 that I am going to give to you here sa Google Classroom ninyo. Sa Google Classroom ninyo rather, sa quizzes under rational function. Okay, and under module number 3, I guess. Okay, so take time, and if you want to rewatch the video, you can rewatch this, but you have tasks to answer. Okay, you have to answer smash it number 1, 2, and 3 if you have if you still have enough time. Okay, this is not a requirement, but if you wanted to try before answering the quiz, then you can use these problems here. Okay, thank you for listening, students, and I hope that you learned something from this video. This is Mrs. Clear P. Hamero, your subject instructor. Thank you for listening.